Welcome back to RacinNation on ESPN Radio. I am Joe Dirt.
Scotty Mac.
And a little Jimmy Diggins.
Yes, indeed. Welcome back, everybody. Call us at 352-629-6900. I don't know if we're going to be able to get the rest of this in this little hour, you guys.
We got to squeeze it in, man.
Yeah, we really do. We've got a lot of stuff going on, but right now, it is certainly our pleasure to have this young man with us out of New Smyrna Beach, Florida, picking up his very first win at Bubba Raceway Park in the limited late model. It is, of course, the Stokes construction number 33, the rocket chassis, the Richard Childress Racing developmental driver, young Carter Stokes on the line with us. Carter, good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
Wonderful, my friend. Now, we had you on a couple of months ago after that stellar run at Bubba Raceway Park, but this one, my friend, is legit, man. It's good to have you.
Yeah, it is. We had a blast that night.
Yeah, Carter, you guys were, you unloaded fast and all was well. And don't let anybody take anything away from the fact that, you were able to get this victory over the best in the business. J.O. Nobles was there. Of course, David Showers in that number 118 car driving his son's race car, one of the veterans in the sport. Man, this one was certainly hard-earned. There's no doubt.
Yeah, I was waiting. I was waiting for them. I figured sooner or later one of them's got to pass me, but they never did.
They didn't, and I've been able to watch some of the videos over the past week of that the entire race. And sometimes when you're in the tower announcing or whatever, it's really hard to grasp the entire event if you know where I'm coming from. But to be able to watch it as a spectator, it was really quite impressive what you were able to do. But man, you guys were fast from practice all the way through the night. What were some of the differences on Saturday night?
First off, they tried something different. I think they watered the tray after hot laps, and that seemed to help some. But it was still like rutting up, and they were getting a little holes towards the end of the night. But the track was definitely good.
Yeah, and again, you're learning, the process of short track racing. Of course, coming up through the ranks at Little New Smyrna Speedway, of course, in the quarter midget, and now to be able to gauge this racetrack that you've pretty much dedicated the 2012 season to, the differences. What kind of racetrack does Carter Stokes like? Things went your way Saturday night, but give us your ideal surface on a Saturday night.
Usually, pretty much close to how it was this last Saturday, but not too muddy to where you're using five tear-ups on the straightaway, but not dry to where you can't see either. But so somewhere in between, about like how it was the last few weekends it's been.
Yeah, no doubt. And I want to kind of back up here to some of the press releases and the recent news that has been out. And first of all, I extend our congratulations from Bubba Clem. I talked to him this morning, and he made it very clear that he wanted us on ESPN Radio to let you know congratulations and just how excited he was for that victory as well. So we extend a heartfelt congratulations from Bubba to you guys as well.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Now, that being said, some of these press releases, and certainly we look at the Richard Childress Racing recent news, and it says that you picked up the win at Ocala Speedway. Bubba wants it very clear and wants it known that is Bubba Raceway Park. And here's the thing, Carter. Bubba is a proponent of young drivers, beginning their career and allowing you guys to race the top-notch, divisions that you race with, of course, the, you in the number 33 car, his boy in the number 14, and of course you got the McGillivray twins in those limited late models. But it's very important to Bubba for everybody to know that he is definitely a proponent of young people racing at his racetrack when many different tracks do not even allow that.
Yeah, for sure. I'll definitely let him know and get him to change it the way it says Bubba Raceway Park.
Well, you would be a hero at that point, no doubt. Speaking of being a hero, man, you've developed quite a fan base out at Bubba's as well. I don't think you ever hear it. Of course, your uncle and your dad and mom might hear it, but man, when I mention your name, there are sections of the grandstands that just go crazy.
Wow. Yeah, never hear that in the car.
You're a rock star, my man. That's all. You're a rock star. But, dude, an unbelievable performance Saturday night. And I got, of course, Scotty Mac and Jimmy Rouse in here, and I know they've got questions for you because, this definitely is the pinnacle of your career thus far.
Yeah, it sure is.
To be the first of those 4 or 5 young guys in the limited late models to take that win, how does that make you feel in your developmental stages? I know this is your first year on dirt, so that must be really big to beat those 3 or 4 to the victory lane first.
Yeah, it definitely is really big. I mean, I still can't believe it. Sometimes I just sit there and think, wow, it really happened. It's still surprising that it actually happens.
Yeah, I mean, we were all watching, and we're like, J.O.'s catching? No, he's pulling away. J.O.'s catching? No, he's pulling away. So, I mean, you're not giving yourself enough credit, I don't think, because you did a really good job keeping them all behind you, keeping the gap the same. So I'm expecting 3 or 4 more wins before the end of the season.
I appreciate it.
and Carter, taking a look at the some of the stories that are kind of floating around about the Saturday night. A lot of people do need to realize, I mean, you are a Richard Childress Racing developmental driver, and that means a lot, of course, with Team Dillon, the Dillon boys coming up through the ranks as well. You actually participated in the TDR driving school under, of course, Dale McDowell. Yeah, that is pretty impressive right there. Talk about that experience a little bit earlier this season.
Yeah, we went up to we spent a whole day up in track up there in Georgia, right on the Tennessee line. It's called Boyd Speedway. It's a really small track, but we were out there all day. We're out there with another kid that I think he was 1 year older than me, but he's been racing for a little while, and that was my first time in the car, so he had a little bit more experience, but he taught us a lot. I learned a lot up there in that one day.
Carter, real quick, man, running up at Bubba's place, it's that track configuration. It can be a handful up there. Obviously, that long back straightaway, almost got to stop it over there in 4, and then you just mat the thing coming down the front straightaway. Running there, it's different than a lot of tracks. Tell me how that compares to where you tested at up there and other tracks that you've run at.
Compared to other tracks I've ran to, it's definitely different. Like a lot of tracks, like we went to one called Dixie Speedway up in Georgia, and it's almost the opposite. They have the dog leg on the front.
On the front straightaway at Dixie. That's exactly right.
So it's definitely different, and definitely have the challenge to it too.
And it's different because at a lot of tracks, I mean, nowadays these guys drive cars that we talked about a little bit earlier, have crate motors in them, and you just mat it the whole way around, and you have to keep it wound up. There at Bubba's, it's like I said, or at Dixie, like I said, you got to really know how to work the throttle, how to get on the brakes. You got to know where that braking zone is, and then you just got to stab it, and keep that momentum up as much as you can.
Yeah, you really got to. I mean, I'm still learning. Sometimes I go in the corner too hard or too slow, and you definitely feel it coming off.
Because turn 3 will come up on you in a hurry over at BRP.
Yeah, it will.
That's all he needs to say. Carter, talking about some of the guys that you were able to best on Saturday night, J.O. Nobles, David Showers, of course, the McGillivray boys. When you got back to your pit area, what was that like climbing from the race car, of course, and then, of course, congratulations from so many different drivers on your breakthrough victory?
Yeah, I definitely felt proud of myself, and I'm sure a lot of people were too. I had a big smile on my face, and everybody was coming up saying good job.
So, I mean, the importance and just exactly what you're able to accomplish. But, Carter, it's almost as if you're at a point in your early career that, hey, man, this is business as usual. And like I asked you in Victory Lane, do you guys feel that you are where you need to be in your early career? Did this win come just about on par with what you thought, or, maybe a little later or maybe a little sooner? But seems to me like, man, this is just, you strapped into the office, you went to work, you clocked in and clocked out, and that just really says something about your future, there's no doubt.
Yeah, I definitely feel like I was actually surprised it happened so soon, but it's definitely rather have it now than later in the season, I guess. But now that we got the first win, hopefully the rest of them will come over a little bit easier.
Yeah, no doubt. Of course, GW Performance on board, the Children's Advocacy Center, Richard Childress Racing, and the Childress Institute. How did you get hooked up with RCR?
Well, it's somewhat private, but for the most part, my mom met Richard a while back, and they kind of talked, and we went up and met him and settled some plans and became a developmental driver.
Oh, that's cool, man. That is definitely a natural progression. Folks can contact you and keep up with your racing career at 33Carter_Stokes. That's at 33Carter_Stokes for Twitter, and of course Carter Stokes. You are on Facebook, so you're hooked up to the social media. You know how important that is to keep friends, family, and of course fans up to speed on what's going on with you. But man, just congratulations from all of us here on ESPN Radio, and you guys are definitely on the career track now. You guys will be back. Jimmy, when are they coming back, the Limiteds?
I think they're back next week. I'm not sure about that, but I do believe they're back next week.
Very well. Carter, you are on board for the remainder of the season at BRP, correct?
Yeah, for the most part. Now that we got my dad told me now that we got a win in limited late models, we might go try and run a couple of late model races later in the season. So I'm excited for that, and hopefully that'll come up pretty soon.
Boy, there's no doubt. And Carter, you talk about perhaps running the late model. Would it be the same car with some modifications, or would you guys, or do you have another rocket put together, or what kind of program would that be?
Maybe a little both, but for the most part, we'll use the same car. We'll obviously take some weight out and change a few things on it, but it should be pretty close.
Boy, there is no doubt. And, you talk about Bubba Raceway Park and just what it takes to find victory lane in whatever division. And, the late model, and Scott will agree, it's not a motor track. It's really not. You talk about the finesse you need, certainly in turns 3 and 4. It's really not a motor track. So I think modifications to this limited 33 would definitely serve him well.
Yeah, I mean, it's a track, as you said, first of all, you got to put in your time over there because it's just hard to just jump in that track. Once again, there's a lot of tracks that you can just jump up on the outside and sling yourself around. That's not the way it is. So you got to have some experience. You got to know about the setup there. So you got to do a little bit of homework. You got to get with other drivers. You got to go up and put some seat time in over there. And it's like I said, it's just not a track that you can go and expect to run up top 5. The first time out, and we've seen people do it, but man, I think that's more luck than anything else. It is a place that you really have to put some time in.
No doubt about it. Carter, how's things going for the 2012-2013 school season at New Smyrna High School?
Not too bad. We're definitely hanging in there, trying to keep your best grades I can.
Yeah, school is school. And how are the Sharks? No, what are the New Smyrna? The Sand Crabs or Sharks? What are you guys over there?
We're the Barracudas.
Barracudas, that's right. How are they doing in their FHSAA football program?
They're doing real good. I know varsity. I think they've won a few games, but they're definitely doing real good. The JV team isn't doing as good, but the varsity team is doing real good.
Yeah, they're always a contender at Division 5 here in the state, so good luck to them, and man, and good luck to you, and then just what a pleasure to have you on ESPN this morning. Again, congratulations from all of us here at ESPN Radio, and certainly Bubba Clem and everybody at Bubba Raceway Park, man. It was exciting for all of us, young man.
Yeah, thanks to everybody.
All right, my man, you hang in there this week. We'll see you next week at Bubba Raceway Park in that Stokes Construction number 33 rocket. Carter Stokes from New Smyrna Beach, Florida. Thank you, young man.
I appreciate it.
All right,
see y'all
buddy.
later.
Catch you later. Hey, Carter.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a nickname for you by next week. How's that?
That sounds good.
All right, buddy. Catch you later. He's going to make it hard to give him a nickname.
Yeah, you ain't kidding, man. Yeah, but those young kids, man, you know what they know about? They know about they want to get in the car.
That's right.
And that's it.
And that's how he is.
And that, the speaking stuff comes with time, man. But
that's absolutely.
Right now he can care less about that. He's all about going fast.
Jimmy, you'll admit this interview was 10 times better than the one we had earlier in the season.
Oh yes, for sure.
He said 4 words instead. No, great kid though, man.
Don't follow Kurt Busch. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, no doubt. What do you take from Carter, Jimmy? I mean, being a fellow youngster in high school and watching this young man's developmental deal.
Wonderful young man. And if I didn't know how old he was, I'd think he's 35. Knows what he's doing.
No.